All right, now we're going to look at these early few years in the war. And there's 3 battles that we have to pay attention to. 3 battles that were really important in this early part of the war. First is, and the first 2 happened really close together, Battle of Trenton. That's December 24th, 1776. And the Battle of Princeton. It's January, I think, the 2nd, 1777. So at the Battle of Trenton, Washington was having a lot of problems with his army. He's having a lot of problems. His army was small, down about 6,000 men. They were running out of supplies. The soldiers' contracts were going to expire on December 31st. So just a week later, just a week after this, Washington was worried that he was going to lose his army, that they were going to go home and the revolution was going to die right there. If he doesn't have an army, what do? You're stuck. You're still going to be controlled by the British. So he took a risk, a bold move. In the night, he decided he's going to attack a group of Hessian soldiers. That's German not missionaries, they were mercenaries, sorry, on Christmas Eve. So they weren't expecting it. He crossed the Delaware. Maybe you've seen the picture of Washington crossing the Delaware. He's on the boat, right? Icy Delaware. It was cold. Christmas Eve, so the Germans were over there and they were partying and drinking, whatever they were doing, sleeping. So they crossed and they defeated them. Battle of Princeton was another victory. The British General Cornwallis. Cornwallis was the head general of the British Army, tried to stop Washington after the British defeat at Trenton. The Patriots won again. Washington won again. And these 2 battles saved the Continental Army. Those 2 battles together saved the Army. New soldiers joined and the current soldiers re-enlisted. So that was a big deal for the Army. Next battle is Battle of Saratoga. Battle of Saratoga, October of that year, 1777. 1777, Battle of Saratoga. That's in upstate New York. It was the turning point of the war. So here, December, January, those 2 battles, they saved the revolution. But this battle really was the turning point towards the favor of, at least a little bit, the favor of the Continental Army. The British suffered a big loss. They had to surrender a whole army to this Continental general named Horatio Gates. And because of this victory, and that's also why it was a turning point, France and Spain decided to join the fight on the side of the colonials, on the side of the colonies. Right? So Battle of Saratoga, what should you remember? That's when France and Spain decided to join the war on the side of the colonies. Right? Valley Forge is next on our list. Valley Forge, that's the winter. December 1777 through March 1778. Now this was a time of training, a time of suffering, really, a time of suffering. It was just outside of the city of Philadelphia. Brutal conditions, really cold, freezing, very few supplies. Soldiers lacked shirts in some cases. They lacked boots, they coats. Really suffering. A lot of suffering going on there. 2,500 soldiers died. 2,500 soldiers died just at camp. It's hard to imagine that. 2,500 people just at camp died from the cold and the lack of supplies and not a lot of food during that time, those 3 months. Washington kept requesting supplies, and the Continental Congress over here, the Continental Congress kept not sending supplies, which makes you wonder, why would they not send supplies to their army? You're not going to get asked that, but it is an interesting question. It's not going to be a question on the test. But soldiers stayed, and they trained, and as a result, the army improved. The quality of the soldiering improved. So that is Valley Forge. And those are all the things that are in the TEKS about this middle period. Right? So far, these are the big two areas that if you get asked a question on the exam, it's going to probably be about these. In our next video, we're going to cover these two. Not a lot going on here that you're going to get asked, really nothing that you're going to get asked about, but I'm going to tell you anyway, just so you know, you have a little sense of what's going on. And then two big events over here at the end. All right, so let's go on to the next part of this.